Station, this is Houston ACR. Please stand by for a voice check from the Johnson Space Center.
Station, this is JSC-PAO. How do you hear me?
JSC-PAO, we've got you loud and clear.
Good morning and congratulations. This is Mark Carreau representing Aviation Week and Space Technology, and I have a couple questions for you. What in your minds is most remarkable about the achievement of 10 years of continuous habitation in space?
Well, I think what you said in itself is a remarkable achievement. 10 years of constant habitation in space is an amazing achievement in itself. And I think along with that, just assembling the space station while we're living in it is a remarkable achievement.
Thanks. I wonder if you might, maybe a couple of you, kind of look in your crystal ball and explain what sort of rings out to you might be the biggest challenges to sustaining your continuous presence on the space station. What's out there that really could upset this nice record or keep it going?
Well, I think with the the imminent retirement of the space shuttle, logistics is certainly a challenge. It's I think a challenge we will meet, but clearly when we lose the capability to fly the amount of mass up and down that the space shuttle provides, we've lost a significant capability. But I do think we will be able to continue supporting the space station, but certainly it'll be difficult without the space shuttle.
Station, this is Houston ACR. Please stand by for a voice check from the Kennedy Space Center.
Station, this is KSC-PAO. How do you hear me?
Kennedy Space Center, we have you loud and clear. Welcome aboard the space station.
Hi, this is Robert Perlman with CollectSpace.com. 10 years ago, Bill Shepard initiated the space station's ship's log. I wonder if you've noted the passing of the first decade in that log, or if you will, and if you have or will, what have you written?
That's a good question, Robert. And yes, the ship's log is here. It's actually near the bell that was brought up as well to ring new visiting vehicles aboard, and to sound their departure as well. And I've read some of the things in there. I have not written my piece in there yet. I've been thinking about it, and probably will do so in the next couple of weeks. Probably will wait till the crew of Discovery land safely back home, and then sort of put my thoughts in there. But it's fun to read and to look at other people's reflections of their experience here.
And in preparation for marking today, I spent a little bit of time flipping through photos from the past decade, and noticed that there were personal items left behind by prior crews, pennants, and even action figures. I wonder how often you come across these and are reminded of the prior crews that have come through the station over the past 10 years.
Scott's holding up a little robo guy that's left there that someone had brought as a little mascot for their robotic operations, and we do see these small things that we're unable to take home with us for whatever reason, or they're left here as a sort of a token or a mascot for those that come after. But we do often run across things left, notes left by former crews, and it's kind of neat to get. The crew that left us a nice note in the cupola, and I think it's more thoughts and very small mementos than anything.
Yeah, Robert, if I could just add something. Yeah, some of the things are left intentionally, like Doug was saying. Some you run across are unintentional, sometimes useful, sometimes not. Tracy Caldwell left me her spoon, which is very useful.
Hi, this is Denise Chow representing Space.com. First of all, congratulations. My question is, if the space station program is extended, through 2020 and beyond, for the next 10 years, how do you envision that living and working aboard the space station will be different, and what do you hope will never change?
Well, I think for the next many years, however many it is that the space station is going, life for 6 crew on board is going to be very similar to what we're experiencing now. We have to maintain the station, we have our science experiments to do, and that certainly will all continue in the future. So I think we'll get into a nice steady state pattern of living and working on the space station.
And how have each of you individually helped to make the station a home for yourselves while you've been aboard?
Well, we have, I haven't been here very long, less than a month, but we have these crew quarters that we sleep in that are kind of, somewhat personalized with, personal items, pictures, things you bring, on a personal level. So that makes it, having those kind of items there makes it somewhat, more like home, I guess you could say.
Hi, everyone. It's Bill Harwood with CBS News, and I'd like to ask Alexander Kaleri, if I could, a little bit to mark the 10th anniversary. You're one of the most veteran cosmonauts around, and I'm wondering what your impressions are of the lab now versus when you were there before, and how you think the station can be sustained after the shuttle stops flying.
Lab is very similar to that war 7 years ago when I was here with Mike Fall in Expedition 8. But there are some new modules, and it's amazing, and it's good. It's well known from ground simulators, but weightlessness is beautiful here. As to shuttle stopping, I think that it's not a real problem to supply the station and with consumables and some other items, but I think it's real problem to deliver the results. Now we can deliver only data, digital data, but sometimes it's necessary to bring back some physical items like biotechnology, biology, and so on. So it's a problem, but I think it will be solved.
Thanks. And Scott, if I could ask you a similar question. We were told at the pre-flight briefing, John Shannon was saying, if they didn't get permission to fly 135, that in 2012 the station would really be in a crunch logistically if some of the commercial guys don't step up and get their vehicles flying. He was implying that there might be some chance you'd have to go back down to a crew size of 3 if the commercial guys didn't step up. How big of an impact would that be if that happens down the road and you have to go back down to 3 people? And I guess just your confidence level that that's not going to happen.
Well, it certainly have an impact on our ability to do what we're doing now, the science, maintaining the space station. We, as a crew of 6, all of us are busy practically all the time. So clearly there's an impact, and what areas of station operations are impacted, it'll have to be a decision the program will have to make. But clearly, 6 people can do twice as much work as 3. My confidence on whether or not that'll happen, that's not a really good question for me to answer. I'm not, I'm familiar with this increment and what the plan is to resupply the station with spares and other logistical items years from now is not something I'm an expert on, but like Sasha said, I think it's it's a challenge that we will be able to meet, but certainly it's going to be a challenge.
Thanks a lot. And one last quick one from me. It's election day down here, and I know the Discovery crew said they all voted before they flew to Florida. Just wondering if you guys got a chance to vote, the Americans, before you launched. Thanks.
Yeah, actually, all three of us did vote. I'm not sure when Doug and Shannon voted. I know they voted on board, like I did. I voted on Sunday through a electronic email system that actually we have. That I think Texas actually passed a law where we could vote from space, and it felt like an honor and a privilege to exercise our rights as U.S. citizens from the International Space Station.
Station, this is Houston ACR. We're back with you. Please stand by for a voice check from Moscow PAO.
Station, this is Moscow PAO. How do you hear me?
Moscow, we've got you loud and clear. Welcome aboard the space station.
Okay, stand by for the questions.
Hello and congratulations. My name is Stacey Bivens. I'm with Russia Today. And if you just look at the numbers associated with the ISS, it's extremely impressive. 10 years continuous habitation in space, more than 600 experiments conducted, the cooperation of 15 nations. And we all know that everybody associated has been the consummate and professionals. But what do you do now? This is a historic moment, and you guys are human. Are you going to celebrate? And how will you celebrate? Will you bust out some Garth Brooks, have a dance-off, have some Cristal? What will you do to celebrate this moment?
Well, right now we're celebrating by getting ready for Hurricane Discovery that's going to be on its way here in a couple of days. But we just have a few moments to pause and talk about old times and maybe some experiences of the past. But then it's time to get back to work. But we're just excited to talk to you today, and this is our celebration actually. And then we're back to work right after this.
Hello, my name is Natalia Trofimova. This is St. Petersburg and Channel 5. I have a question to the Russian cosmonauts. First of all, congratulations. And second, do you have any tradition which has been kept on board for 10 years? Fyodor, this is not your first time in flight. Could you tell us how the station changed in front of your eyes and what you were able to see during your missions?
Well, thanks
for the question. Yes, indeed, 2002, 2007, and now 2010, there's been a great difference. And I would say it's like a baby. See, a baby has been born, and then the child has his 10th birthday, and now he's intelligent, and he's wondering, has questions, and that's like the station looks. It's quite big, it has lots of volume, and it's grown up. It's nearly done. As regards the traditions, I would say that the main tradition for me is that each crew do everything they can. They put their heart, their soul in what they're doing during their leisure time and during their business hours, and this is probably the main tradition. Then second tradition is that there are no US citizens, there are no Japanese citizens, there are no Russians in our crew. What we have is like our crew. We have Doug, we have Scott, we have Oleg, we have Shannon, we have Alexander, and the main tradition is that the crew has its crew members, independent of their nationality. Thank you. Hello, my name is Svetlana. I'm from Korolev TV. In what manner are you going to celebrate the 10th anniversary? And if yes, how, if you are going to?
Значит, отмечать мы его будем ударным трудом.
Yes, definitely. We are going to celebrate, but by hard labor. Not only the way it used to be in our country, but also in other countries. And generally speaking, this is the first time we're all together here. Are we going to have a joint dinner? Yes, we are going to, because that's the way we have it each and every day. And probably today our dinner will take place in the SM module, in the service module, the way it used to be 10 years ago. And I hope my crew members agree with me. Yes, they're okay. Then that's the way it's going to be. Hello, this is Dmitry, Interfax agency. I have a question to Fyodor. I'm sorry, to Alexander. What is your view on the technical capabilities of the station? Can we extend its life beyond 2020, and what needs to be done for that? And question number 2 to Fyodor. Were you disappointed because of 2 EVAs previously planned and now only 1?
Ну, я не буду касаться технических аспектов.
Well, I'm probably going to talk about the technical aspects of the station. I think it's for the special to decide how exactly to extend its life beyond 2020, because there are lots of technical issues, resources, and there's something to be tested and to be concluded by tests. But if the decision is made, I don't see why the station cannot continue its operation. I guess the main reason is our target. What for? Our goals, our aims. What for do we need to keep the station alive? And we have 10 years to answer this question and to understand for ourselves what exactly we need the station for. And then we'll have it.
По поводу выходов.
Regarding my EVAs, not only me, Oleg was disappointed as well.
Во время взлета планировалось 3.
When we launched, we thought there were going to be 3 EVAs, now we have only 2, and this very EVA depends very much on what program the orbiter will have. And we hope the shuttle will launch and the EVA will take place. Of course, 3 is better than 2, but 2 is better than nothing. Alexander Kovalov from RIA Novosti News Agency. I have a question to Alexander Kaleri. Alexander, the way it is now, you happen to work as a specialist to dock the Progress vehicle. Could you tell us what exactly happened? And why did you have to do the manual docking? Thank you.
Вам лучше спросить это у специалистов на Земле.
You'd probably better ask ground specialists. They're the ones who analyze the situation and who provide conclusions. I was told to switch to manual docking, and what was the reason for that? I think you have to ask MCC on the ground. Thank you. Hello, this is Korlev Television. It's been not so long ago that you took part in the questionnaire on the board the station. And is there something else that you have to do when you're up there, what people on the ground do?
Można po-angielsky. We celebrated we had a progress vehicle that came aboard, and so in the States we celebrate by dressing up and going from home to home trick-or-treating for candy, and so we had a progress vehicle that came aboard on Saturday, and so on Halloween we were able to get our crew care packages from home, and so we had lots of treats in there. So, and we celebrated just as a crew without costumes.
I'd
like to add to Doug's answer. If Oleg and I had had our EVA prior to Halloween, we would have taken orange paint and we would have painted Per as a pumpkin.
Добрый день, вас приветствует пресс-служба ЦНИИМАШ. У меня такой вопрос.
Hello, this is press service of CNIMASH. Could you let us know what scientific experiments are taking place as of now on board the station? Thank you.
Достаточно большое количество экспериментов.
There's a wide range of experiments taking place. This is fluid behavior in weightlessness, zero-G, then crystal growing, protein crystal growing. And if our EVA does take place, we're going to mount certain hardware, let us say a workstation for mounting new scientific hardware. And in addition, we're going to have some research looking into how a mission, a space flight, impacts the outer shell of the station, etc., etc., and etc. I'd like to add something else. The scientific program started 10 years ago with the experiment plasma crystal, and now we started a new experiment called Coulomb crystal.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes questions from MCCM. Please stand by for a voice check from JAXA PAO.
Station, this is JAXA PAO. How do you hear me?
JAXA PAO, we have you loud and clear. Welcome aboard the International Space Station.
はい、それでは日本からの質問です。どうぞ。
My name is Kikuchi of Kyoto. Congratulations to you on the 10th anniversary. Last year, Kibo was complete. And from the Earth, we are really amazed that the Kibo is working really well. And how do you feel about it? Do you think that Kibo is functioning well, and have you experienced any problem or trouble communicating with the ground?
I think the Kibo Laboratory is an extremely nice facility to have up here. It's one of my favorite places to be on the station. All the equipment functions very well, and every experiment that I have worked on with the Japanese Space Agency has gone very well. So I like the Kibo Laboratory very much.
My name is Yamada from Mainichi. This discovery, you're going to receive R2, a tough-looking vehicle. So what do you expect of this? R2 is a robot, I mean.
Well, we're going to be glad to welcome Robonaut aboard. We don't know too much about him, so we're going to be a little apprehensive, I think, getting to know the new robot. But I know there's a lot of just really sharp engineers that have worked on this project, and we're very excited to add that to the technology that's on board, and actually get some data for them to be able to expand a little bit on this robotic technology to assist us in the future, both inside and outside the spacecraft.
内と旋回両方でですね。
Hatanaka is my name, from Nippon Broadcasting. Congratulations to you, Mr. Scott Kelly and Mr. Kaleri. You are really veterans. Would you please share us your observation about how this food on spaceship has changed over the last 10 years? And also, I appreciate your comment on the Japanese food.
Well, one of the great things about this being an international program is that we now have an international menu. Unlike on my first flight, which was a mission to the Hubble Space Telescope, Hubble repair mission, we only had the U.S. menu. And when you're in space for a really long time, variety in in many things, but particularly food is important. So it's great to have the option of having the menu choices that this international partnership brings. And I really like the Japanese curry.
My name is Hayashi, freerider. I have a question for Alexander Kaleri. You were at the last Mir space station, so you're a very much experienced astronaut. So, do you think in order for the space station to operate another 10 years, what is the most important thing to overcome crisis?
Я не знаю, о каком кризисе идет речь.
I don't really know what crisis you're talking about.
Мы не испытываем никакого
I guess there is no crisis right now. At least that's our point of view, the crew's point of view. We work together, we perform the activities we're supposed to perform. So I guess if we continue to work together, there is no way we might be afraid or scared of a crisis.
My name is Onodera, Nico Nico, or the movies internet news distributor. You're really nice with your red shirts. I wonder whether we can buy your shirts at NASA shops or NASA offices.
Yes, actually, our crew shirts are. We get them from a company in the U.S., but they are available. The logo for our mission is available as well, and so they're available for purchase in any type of style or color that you'd like to have.
Station, this is Houston ACR.
And
Station, this is Houston ACR.
That concludes the event. Thank y'all very much.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you to NASA Administrator Bolden, to the media at NASA centers, to the Russian media at MCC Moscow, and the Japanese media in Tokyo. ISS will be resuming operational space-to-ground communications now.